So I'm starting a pumping service again and a Bobcat service because I think the economy is going to start slowing down. So I'm going to start pumping for other customers and demoing, plus my contracting, all that. So I'm just pumping this for Beetlejuice right there. And this is a jacked up job because if I go around that way, it's about 250 feet of hose, and me and that guy's not pulling the hose back, so I'm going to go up and over a wall right here. Let me get this crap out of here. We got Carlos out here right behind you. He came out from YouTube. He's going to get into pumping. Right?
Yeah.
So he's learning from the master. You just can't kill the master. Right? Oh my God.
Or be better than him, because it sounds like the master's slowing down.
Huh? I'm slowing down? I was just getting started. Oh. Carlos is learning from the best in the West. And he's going to start pumping. I'll give you the guy's number with the pump.
Okay, you got it.
And he brought it down here, and the owner went through it and said it was good. It's already gone through.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's good to go. Kristen's back filming.
Put the first.
Yeah, off the pump, you run a 2.5. If you have 200 feet, you could run 3 or 4 or 5 of these, and you're not going to plug. Less chances, because it's going to plug where it reduces into the smaller hose.
Okay. The 2.5.
I just don't play that. I just put one on good and let it rip. But I can hear it, you know. But if you want to be safe when you're learning, run more 2.5. You're not going to have a problem. Like when I started sometimes, and I was really worried, like, dude, I can't deal with this today. I would run 2.5 all the way out, and the last hose, I would just put 1, 2 on the end that I was holding. Because I knew if it plugged, it's just in this one hose.
Like a lot of the guys you see nowadays, the new younger ones coming in, they run all 2.5.
Oh, they're paranoid, dude.
All 2.5, which, you know, I wouldn't do that on the end hose. That's going to break your bag.
Yeah.
Dragging that thing around.
You'll see. But once you get confidence in your pumping and you're pulling it off, and start, you know, then start reducing it back. I'm gonna hook, I already measured how far, so I'm gonna clamp all the hoses, throw it over the wall, pull it, and then hook it up to the 2.5.
Perfect.
You know.
Coming out, and they have asphalt sand.
Fish, you know.
It's going to separate. And then, like,
Never do it this way. I've done it once this way in my life. So we're gonna hook all this up and pull it up over the wall. Yeah. Should be pretty easy. Oh, come on, you fucking bitch.
but the more experience you'll get, you'll notice.
Roger. Cool.
Okay.
Come on, Otis. Yeah. It's gonna be a piece of cake, bro. Easiest day you ever had.
Greenhorn. Milano Parnata. No, a quick study. Okay.
So what I'm doing is I'm gonna build a pump Bobcat. People have been offering to buy my business, the YouTube, the whole bit. So I'm gonna build everything up and see where we're going. Maybe Carlos is gonna buy it. Oh, this crap. See some of these clamps.
Where are you located out of?
San Bernardino.
So, yeah, don't roll up without that shit on you. It's fucking hot out there.
In that heat. You fuck up, I can fix it.
There you go.
There we go. We got one that clamps. all set up or going up and over the wall. If I went that way, it's like 240 feet of hose. There's 1 or 2 guys, it's not doable. So I just went up over the wall. Depending how much hose I have, the distance, this is the volume, how fast I'm pumping. I'll prime it out fast, and since I'm going over a wall, I don't want to kink the hose. So I'll come back and slow it down once I shoot the primer and I get concrete. This is the throttle, how the RPM, so you don't need a bunch of RPM with 125 feet. Just got to be careful you don't kink it up over the wall. So when you're going to turn it on, someone lifts it off the wall. You turn it on, then they could drop it back down on the wall. Then when you stop, they got to lift it up. Then when you start, they just, so it doesn't kink on the wall. But I got the water in it. You need minimum water, about 4 or 5 gallons to prime out 125 feet. I'm going to pump it wet. It's a footing for a block wall. So I got 125 feet of hose. I put about 100 pounds of air on it. If it starts pinging on the piston in the back, I'll bleed some air off of it. And if you have a lot of hose out, you can disconnect hose as you go. Take a hose off, take a hose off, take a hose off as you go. Water in the mix, we're mixing it up. We're getting ready to prime the line out. I got about 4 gallons of water. We're gonna shoot it up over the wall. Good to go. West Coast has got a pump service, a Bobcat service again. So give us a call. Beetlejuice, we got Dave, we got Carlos over there. We got a piece of cake going here. I can't believe he's paying me for this. Are you paying me? Yeah. Can't believe I'm getting paid for this. It's like a vacation. Vito, watch out, bro. So you just simply hook this up here. And then you get the strap, because it will launch out. So you can just hook it to whatever you want on the commitment. Like I'll grab that slot right there. And here's the hopper. So I'm going to show you how far you got to run it down to wash out. If you run it past the balls and seats, and water gets in this manifold, you're going to plug, washing out. Worst case scenario you could ever do. So check out the hopper. have mud in your hopper, don't ever let the driver wash out in you till you've ran your pump down and scoot back. Then you can simply just hose it out like this and then fill it up 3 times and wash it out. So with one hopper with 125, go ahead.
So wash it down?
Yeah, go ahead. With one hopper and 125 feet of hose, you'll get water on the first hopper. And I'll show you, you can see it right here, shooting concrete and then water. Once you get water, you're good to go. But don't ever let the guy wash out when you have concrete in your hopper and run 3 of these out. Once you get water, he can wash out now because I ran the pump down. But it's real tricky. And whatever speed you were pumping at, you're running your pump, just leave it there, hook it up, and then as it starts getting filled with water, you can slowly start pumping faster, and it'll blow the rest of the concrete and water into the mixer, and then you run it wide open and you blow the water through. That's about it on the wash out.
How many hoppers? About how many gallons?
Three
Wash out.
hoppers I run out with 200 feet or less. It's about 90 gallons. But don't ever let anyone wash out in it. Run your pump down. Keep it the speed you were at. Once you start getting water pushed up here, you can slowly start speeding it up and it'll push it up in there. Otherwise, sometimes it'll just hit, and nothing's moving. So just speed it up and then it'll start going down. The driver just made a good point. Don't ever let the driver dictate or tell you what to do when you're pumping. You tell them when to put concrete, when they can wash out. You don't let them. He made a good point. I didn't think of that. We're getting ready to wash out here. You'll be able to hear it on the camera when it's running the concrete right before it's going to get water. I can hear it and I'll start turning it up. But don't ever have it like wide open, washing out stuff. Mainly when you plug, it's going to be pump or air, not doing it. Because I can adjust.
You're full or
Pretty
full?
simple. Whoops, we're full. Okay, here we go. Starting to get water, I'll turn it up.
You'll hear the balls hitting harder. Yeah. You'll hear it get more hollow.
Look right here, guys. Good luck. We got water. Now we got water. Once you get water, now you're not going to have an issue. You're home free. The volume wide open. It's all the way wide open because I want to shoot the water as fast as it'll go to clean everything out. You can hear it pump hitting it, but it'll be fast. That's wide open. See, you can hear the strokes hitting. So I'm stuck in the water and shooting it through at a rapid RPM through the hose. And there'll always be residual water, gravity in the hose, so once you drop the reducer off, just let the water run out. It's all clean water, there's nothing in there. This pump washes out better than any pump ever made. There's no residual at the back in the manifold, no sand, no rock, you can zoom in on it, it's just clean water. And after you get water, you can take the strap off your hook, it's not going to plug or have a problem. So some of these clamps, when you get a little lazy like me and don't clean them, they get tight. So you just kind of use a shove on it. It'll be tight, but it's no big deal. It happens. You just want to, sometimes you'll get residual concrete in here and the rubber doesn't set flush like that. 75-degree day. Nothing like making $400 in 20 minutes.
garbage for them.
Yeah.
And he goes, Robertson's there, and the other hand there,
They'll load on top of it.
Yeah.
they'll throw it back in the mix.
But just saying, if someone calls you up and says, I want a 4,500 mix, don't roll up on that in the beginning. Get about 50 pumps under your belt before you roll up on shit like that.
That's good advice too. You're killing it today.
Because the higher the PSI, the more Portland they put in it.
It becomes sticky.
And it's stickier
You'll keep missing your strokes pumping.
until you figure out.
I've seen some bull crap.
Just have like a mark of like 50 before you start rolling up on
But
crazy
this
shit.
pump will pump trash. It doesn't matter.
And then two is a lot of times too, in that heat, guys will be like, "Oh wait, hold on," while they're because you'll come up on good guys and terrible finishers.
Yep.
And if they make you stand there, fuck them. Pump that shit out
Give me the
in 110 degree heat. You know, in that summer out there. Don't sit there with that mud going off in your hopper.
Yeah.
Say, dude, it's gonna ruin my system.
Yeah, I gotta
Just keep pumping it, fuck them. Because you know, construction people, they're assholes. A lot of them are assholes, but you got to realize they're not the highestly educated people
Yeah, they
either.
get medieval sometimes. I'm almost gotten down and brawled the whole crew. That's a wrap. If you have any questions, just write them in the comments and I'll answer them. Take a look at that. That's the best in the West.